Thanks for tapping in with 95 South TV, hosted by Ikon Ian King J, bringing you the best news and media through the efforts of the community. We interview nonprofit organizations, business owners, school teachers, spiritual leaders, and anybody who has an impact in the community that has a remarkable backstory. These professionals that we bring on this show has a story that will wow you, that will knock your socks off. And with that being said, we want you to tune in, keep it locked. We want you to like, share, follow, and subscribe. Be a dedicated listener. Come in, and if you require to do an interview, you can definitely reach out to us at 95southpodcast@gmail.com.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ikon. And we here on 95 South TV once again. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because without him, there would be no us to be able to have this great opportunity to be able to interview great people. Next, I want to introduce my right hand man, your baby mama favorite host. You know what I'm saying? King Jacob. What's going on, fam?
What up, man? What up? Glad to be in the land of the living, man. Another day, another day to get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So go ahead and introduce the queen to this world, so we get this this interview cracking.
So I come, man, listen. I'm scrolling through social media early this week, and I see this queen going off about what Trump is doing. I said, boy, I got to get her on 95 South TV. Boy, she talking about the economy and how we just work to live. We can't never get ahead because they charging us too much and all the above. So with that being said, man, I said I need to bring her on. So we have Miss Bella Jones, and tonight's topic is why is the American economy so bad, and why do the American people feel betrayed by the government?
Okay, okay.
So,
Go ahead,
Miss
Bella. You
Bella,
can
if
get
you
us
can,
started. Oh, we got Taylor in the house. Going on. What's up, Taylor?
what's up,
Hey
Queen
guys,
Taylor? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
So glad to have you back.
Thank you. I'm here.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So, Miss Bella, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can get into this topic.
No problem. Hi, everybody. My name is Bella. I am 33 years old and I reside in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, okay. So, based on what you was talking about and how many people was engaged in your conversation about, how bad the economy is and why people feel betrayed by the American government. So, if you can go ahead and get into that topic, and what made you go on, Facebook and state your claim and do your rant, you know what I mean? And just to get people involved to see what they think.
Right. So, like, I've been doing social media for like 10 years now. So, I was like one of the first people to ever like pick up the phone and yell at it and say what I had to say. And I've always talked about politics, but it just got to a point I seen so much negativity on social media. It was like oh my god, like we got to get to a point where we got to stick together. We have to start helping each other. We have to unite. And it's just like at this point we don't have anybody in our corner. So it's like I wanted to be that person. I was really just venting about how I personally felt about the world and how the government was doing, and also about Trump. So I didn't think a lot of people would agree, but they end up agreeing with me.
Okay, okay. So you know, what do you see the economy as right now, and how do you think we as the people can change the narrative, or can we even change the narrative?
I think the state of the world right now is just it's horrible. I'm gonna be honest. I feel that we as a black community, we need to start helping each other more. I see other races sticking together, they're doing what they have to do, they're planting food, they're building houses together, and then when it comes to us, it's like we don't panic until it's actually happening. And that's what I want people to stop doing. Like we have to get prepared now. We can't wait until something pops off to be like, Okay, well, I'm gonna do it now. No, we need to get prepared, just like every other race is doing. And I don't, at this point, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the state of the world. Like, everything is so expensive. Life is expensive. It takes $1 million just to walk out the house. I'm really scared for my kids' future. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm being so serious, like, because
Yeah.
like I tell my dad, in y'all, in the older people days, y'all actually got to experience what money was. Y'all got to experience what life is. We came into everything being $20,000, 30,000. Like, we can't get ahead like you guys. So I just feel like right now I'm basically scared. I'm scared because I don't know what's gonna go on, and the world is unpredictable at this moment.
All right. So from a queen to another queen, Taylor, what is your 2 cents in on this conversation?
Um, it's more of an empress to an empress, no longer queen. Okay,
Okay.
uh, I just wanna let you know. Um, but I think that yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to be completely like I want to be biased. Okay, so I really think that I kind of had this conversation the other day when we was back to when we was younger. We was going to people's houses to communicate. Okay, it worked for us. Okay, if we got a little in a little fight, we got in a little fight. We still was back home. Okay, we had the house phone, and you don't want to do nothing wrong on the house phone because your mom was gonna get you. Okay, this was many years ago. We are not in the same world we was. I mean, we actually was, but it was just a little bit more fabricated back
Mhm.
then. Okay, the kids stay in the kids' place and you mind our business.
Yes.
Okay, if they said it was going to bomb, we were scared, and they were still bombing somewhere, but we won't focus on that.
Mhm.
Versus, today where um even back to the kids where they're just they're on the fence about everything because they see everything on social media. We didn't have that same thing. Okay, and so being the destruction in the world is social media. It's electron anything that you can communicate via like we're doing right now became a chaos because um everybody wants to run the world. Okay, everybody wants to run the world. Okay, and it's chaotic because it's too many people trying to run the world. Just put it like that. Too many people trying to run this, too many trying to run that, and nobody's listening or paying attention to the messages that's going on. Okay. And so being that it's a mess and going on in this world, me personally, I stay out the way. Okay. I hear maybe a little stuff here and there, but I don't base my life around that. You know why it's chaotic? And the reason why I don't base my life off of what's going on in this world is because it's things of the world make people scared. Okay. I wasn't born scary. Okay. I can't live my life scary. Somebody versus somebody else where I'm about to rob, steal, kill. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to rob, steal, kill. Um, or I'm not gonna drive that fast. Or you know how people are whenever police get behind you, start driving crazy when you was driving perfectly fine. Okay, it starts within and it starts with the mind. So being if you're not taught or you didn't catch what was taught, it's going to become chaotic. And I'm just saying it in a way of not being biased of everything that's going on.
Okay. Icon.
Well, let me say it like this. I'm a spiritual person, so to me, I almost think that Trump is almost like a necessary evil to a certain degree. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you that because God has a way of trying to send warning shots and give us an opportunity to get stuff right. So even like with COVID was basically like a repeat of like the plague and leprosy and different things that was in the Bible and stuff like that. And that was the time because if you think about COVID was something that affected everybody at the same time. The whole entire world, not just black folks, white folks, rich or poor. It affected everybody. And some people looked at it as a sign to start businesses, get their life together, do the right thing. I know people who did the opposite. They basically was getting four and five, $6,000 worth of EBT and free money, and then when it came back, they had to pay that money back or whatever the case may be. You've seen even celebrities going to jail from the PPP money because they was taking advantage of that situation. So I just feel like at the end of the day, if we look at Trump, Trump is not a politician. Trump is a rich, elderly white guy who plays everybody the same way. Whether he's Republican, Democrat, poor, rich, he knows how to play with your emotions no matter who you are. Think about it. Ever since he's been back in office, he's been flirting with, oh, I'm going to give out more money. And you have people online say, oh, Trump giving out more money. I knew he was going to do the right thing. We still haven't seen his money yet. You know what I'm saying? And then he takes away, he wants to take away government funding from this angle. Then he goes over here and disrespects these people overseas and these other countries. So Trump doesn't have a respect for no man. It's all about his bottom line in his pockets and what he can get out of it. And the thing about what the dangerous part about this time around with Trump is more dangerous than the last time. He know he can't get back in the White House. He can talk all that third term stuff all he wants. He know he can't get back in the White House. So you know what he's doing? This is his revenge tour. You know what I'm saying? This is a revenge tour. Even I don't always agree with Stephen A. Smith, but he made a good point on the whole gambling thing with those players that got caught up on the gambling situation. He said Trump is coming. So Trump is coming after NBA, WNBA, NFL, all those so-called billionaires that didn't have his back when he lost the last time. He coming for all of them too. So whatever you own, especially if you're a billionaire, he gonna come for it. You know what I'm saying? You see how he turned on what's the guy, the Tesla guy. You know what I'm saying? See how he turned on him. So he don't care about no man and nobody. So
Can I,
we go ahead.
I want to chime in on that. Okay. All right. Um, and the reason why I'm chiming in is because just like you or anybody else, everybody has a tactic or a way that it's always something behind something of what they're doing, right?
Hmm.
So if you're a business owner, you have a tactic, you have a way of bringing in people, right?
Hmm.
And um and so the way I feel like that he run it is as if it's a business, right? But it's his business. Okay. And so since it's his business, oh, I got a plan for that, right? So makeup would be okay, let me take away this EBT, right? For November. But guess what? I'm gonna get them back real quick. I got something for them. You know what I'm saying? All that money we was collecting from keeping these people away from this fence and from over here and all this other stuff. I'm gonna just give them a little change real quick, make them feel good. Okay. Um, and so in my opinion, it's a tactic for everything that he doing because he ain't done. You know what I'm saying? Now, um, he has a lot of ways that's unlike God because God is in every last one of us, right? Um, but it's um I think it's just a way of he knows how to run a business. Okay. Not saying that, he's not my favorite, but he knows how to run a business. Okay. And that's where his mind at is business. He ain't doing it for the people, he doing it for him. But he wants to run a business the way he wants to run a business, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Go ahead, Bella. I didn't mean to get long with it, but I was trying to prove a
No, you're
point of
fine. I don't
of the
have
point.
nothing to say right now. I'm just listening.
So
Okay.
let me say this. I myself am a spiritual being as well. So you got you got two people in Trump. One is
Mhm.
Judas this day, the other one is Pharaoh the next day.
Mhm.
And so which one are you going to deal with? Judas, he had Elon Musk to give all this money. And then he said, "Oh, we from America. We don't do electric. We don't want no electric cars. We want natural resources." So you took over $262 million of this man's money, and now you don't want him to have to pull up any more electric machines, so people who got electric cars can pump their gas. So to could reuse their car. And so now you had these Latinos and these black people. Oh, Trump is going to do this for us. He's going to do that for us. Let me even go to the black churches and speak to them. And it was like you said, Trump is on his avenge tour. You know what I mean? Because who who didn't think that he was going to win when he been campaigning for a whole 4 years
Mhm.
and having only campaigning for 6 months? So who is people more likely to believe? And we can say what we want to say, but this country is full of division. You know what I mean? Uh, the integration just only played a part where white people can tap into our resources and our money. Because before that, when we wasn't integrated, we had grocery stores, doctors' offices,
Mhm.
our own schools, everything. So that just made a way where they can tap into our money. So the country ain't never been in one accord. It's always been divided. Like you can see it in the political forum. You got people who've been congressmen and senators and the House of Delegates, the House of Representatives. You've been doing this for 30 years, and all you did was get rich. You ain't changed no narrative. So you tell me how Mitch McConnell is the U.S. senator and he's worth $69 million. What? I mean, I'm just saying, man. Okay, he got some investments, but you ain't invested no money to almost $70 million. Like, so can anybody name me one congressman or one senator that changed the narrative for their state? And and then you got these congressmen, these senators, they are signing to bill to gentrify the black neighborhoods. So
Mhm.
I used to live in DC for a long time. And when I lived in DC, it was 80% black, not no more. You know, it ain't Chocolate City no more. It's Vanilla Swirl City. A little chocolate in it. You know what I mean? And so even if you look at the farmers, they're hurting, but they the one who voted them
Right.
in. You, you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
the farmers have lost close to $462 million in the last year or so. But they the one voted him in. And then, when it comes to us, it's very rare that I see somebody that don't look like me doing something to my people. What who I see doing something to my people is people that look like us. And so with that being said, he's really not worried about the quote unquote the black and brown people because the black and brown people is destroying one another. You know what I mean? And
At a
as
rapid
as far,
rate.
right. And as far as him, when it comes to the economy, let's be clear. If we look at the imports and the exports, he's the only president that ever charged for that, like raise the taxes for that. Like Obama didn't do it. They was importing stuff, exporting stuff. All these foreign countries, Mitsubishi and Mercedes and Audi and all these companies going in and out of America. And when America wasn't getting any benefits. So the only benefits you was getting is when they build a car lot, and then you can charge them for taxes. But the imports and exports, the bring the stuff in and out, you know, that should have been 40% for the import and at least 60% for the export, you know, on taxes, on that level of taxes. So we have false, it's fraudulent to really have him back for a second term. And the very people that he said need to be get out of here, he was sending their grandparents back, they ain't have no green cards. And you would be surprised on how many of them voted for Trump.
Right.
So is Are we really logically thinking about what's going on in the United States of America, or do we hear what we want to hear? That's my
Yep.
take on it.
No, for real. People do hear. They do hear what they want to hear. But you know what? I got hound so bad because I'm not into politics. I got hound so bad because I'm not a voter. But I have just like Trump, I have a reason, my reason too.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do. Okay.
Amen.
So, and that's just the truth. So it's like we either gonna suffer or we gonna be good in it. You know what I'm saying? But or we gonna live in the summer, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like at the end of the day, um, it's just about your mind state. And if you got a I would call it Negro mind state, that's where you're gonna be at. And that's where you're gonna stay at, and that's where you're gonna be placed at.
I can dig it. Bella?
I feel it. Basically everything she said. Like, look, it is what it is. Like, look, if you gotta have that mentality. No matter what's going on, you gotta have the mentality to keep going. So if you a person that is like, I don't know what to do, you be off your butt and on your feet. That's the only thing right now. Everybody's stressed. We all going through it, but you gotta keep going. You gotta keep praying. You gotta put God first, and just know that everything we going through, I pray that it's gonna get better very, very soon. Cause if not, I don't know.
Well, let me say this from our we it, like you said, we pray, hope this thing get better. But a couple of things. One thing what Jacob said when he talked about the farmers
Mhm,
and Americans are getting sicker and sicker. You know why?
mhm,
Because we told to eat fruit and vegetables, but the fruit and vegetables are all now artificial
yep.
because they can't pump out enough
Mhm,
fruit, a good fruit for us to eat good fruit anymore. So everything is artificial now. So the stuff that we was told to eat that was healthy, whether it's
mhm.
fruit, vegetables, or anything else, is not real anymore.
You're
So
right.
we no matter what we're taking, we're intaking bad food. And so that's why Americans are getting sicker and sicker. Think about it. You might have the most healthiest best friend or cousin or uncle or dad or mom or whoever. Then they end up in the hospital. You be like, dang, they work out all the time. They eat
Yep.
right. They do
Mhm,
this. They do that. Why they get?
mhm,
How they get sick? Because they eat the stuff that they were supposed to eat. They was told they were supposed to eat, but it's not. It's no better than the meat or the cheese or whatever else you talking about. You were supposed to be eating. It's no better than that. It's just as bad as anything else that they told us not. It's just bad as McDonald's and all the rest of it now.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and Jacob, you said something because I was trying to remember. I caught a brain block when you talked about Pharaoh. And I was telling somebody, I said, Trump is the modern day Pharaoh. Think
Mhm,
about how every time uh, 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 he was told to stop, and they sent frogs and plagues and all kind of stuff to Pharaoh to harden him.
mhm.
And he was so hard to soften, trying to soften. He was so hard. I'm not giving up. I'm not. No, let my people go, Pharaoh. No, I ain't letting your people go, God. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what happens, Trump, like I'm not letting these people go until I'm ready to let them go. And we don't know how to come together, you know what
What?
I'm saying, in certain
Yes.
situations. Now, this is the thing. When Jacob talked about back in the day when we had our own doctors and grocery stores and everything else. And then we
Mhm,
had Tulsa, they burnt it down.
mhm.
You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? We had stuff in Harlem,
Mhm.
they burnt it down. They
Black
took it
Wall
out.
Street.
Black Wall Street. They say they want us to have stuff, but they really don't because it gives us
Mhm,
too much power. I'm gonna tell
mhm,
you the only way we really gonna gain power. You know all this Gucci and Louis and all this stuff that black folks
mhm,
put all their money behind.
mhm.
Even the so-called, the Jordans and all that kind of
Yep.
stuff, because all that is not that's not black owned stuff.
Yes.
Even the Jordans is not black owned. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
All that stuff is owned by somebody else. So at the end of the day, if you're not shopping at the black owned store, grocery stores, clothing
mhm,
stores, or whatever, you're still putting billions of we the black community spends I think $3 trillion
mhm,
a year
mhm, mhm.
in product.
Yes.
So if we stop spending money towards them and then put demands on it, oh, we'll go back to Walmart, we'll go back to Kroger, we'll go back to wherever you want us to go, but you got to allow us to have this, that, and third, and start having real demands that's going to empower us. And then if you try to shut us down, then we'll stop again. You know what I'm
Amen.
saying?
So
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 Yeah.
that's the
Icon,
only way.
let me say this. Do black people understand what the word consumer means?
I don't really think more. No, I think now the average person I don't really don't think
Mhm.
don't really
It,
understand.
so
I don't.
so if we look closely, it stands for consume your money. So when you look at consume, and we said that we are the black and brown people are the biggest consumers in the world.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nobody spend more money during Black Friday weekend than black and brown people, right?
Yep.
So
Hmm.
so it's already inside your mind that you're going to do is program. So you've been consumed to spend your money, no matter what.
Mhm.
People like Christmas time, people take out these loans with
Mhm.
these loans
Mhm.
companies and go buy the kids the world. But come January and February, you're struggling, and then our people tax season come. Why you need to go get a new TV every year? Why you need a new car every year? In June, you ain't got the car no more.
And I'm gonna tell you this, Jacob. And this is what black folks don't pay attention to, or poor people in general don't pay attention to. You know, if you go into something like if you go to Walmart, let's just say around maybe about May or June, you know, the same price that they put on there in the
Yep.
December, November, the
Mhm.
same price, because they know in the summertime you're not really shopping. You're more about
Mhm.
getting your money up to get your kids back in school. So you're not buying that new TV. You're not buying that new laptop. You're not buying any of that. So the same prices that you paying in the November, December is gonna be the same price in May and June. You know what I'm saying? But they trick us with that whole Black Friday sale.
Mhm.
It ain't no Black
Mhm.
Friday sale. You know what I'm saying? It's a steal your money sale. And then when they do give out free money, like you know what I'm saying, these loans or these PPP loans or this so-called stimulus money, what they know is gonna happen. Poor people gonna spend their money, put it right back into
Mhm.
the community. They're gonna go
Yeah,
back and buy that same TV, that same
yeah.
computer, so they're gonna get the money
Mhm.
right back. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
And you just think about it, like in Empress Tea business, right? She she does taxes, a professional tax person. Should I say? She'll do
Yeah.
their taxes. She'll do their tax. So if you're a professional tax person, then you have some financial literacy. So
Mhm.
and I can bet you that 9 times out of 10 times people don't never say, so Taylor, what should I invest this money in? Do they ever ask you that?
No, nobody ever asks what to invest in, but what I do offer for you ones looking for a tax preparer, what I do offer is other services. With offering other services, it's a way to show you what you can invest your money in. And especially this season coming up, that everybody had a rough year. I'm gonna put you in the game.
But I was just saying,
Nobody
some
says
people
no. Nobody says
there's
can I
some
what to invest this money in, but into you because you're doing my taxes. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
yeah, so most people get 5, 6, 7, 8. Some people get $10,000 back. But come come June, July, don't have any of that money. Now I have seen some people that go to work and have and work on a consistent basis. I just seen some of them just put their tax money in the bank, and over a period of time, that's their money to do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen people do that too, but most of the time you you will see a lot of people, man. You can really tell when it's tax season. You know what I mean? Like you can tell, you can tell. But anyway, but I just feel like we need to be talking to the youth more. Uh, what are their plans? What do you want to do? How do you see the world? How do you think the world needs to change so your generation have a chance at life? Do people really sit
I
there?
think can I
Do
can
people?
I say something?
Go ahead.
I feel like before we reach the younger generation, we need to check ourselves. This is one of the main things that I talked about on my live is how we and everybody was like, well, white people do it, and I don't care about them. I care about my people. You get what I'm saying? I feel like in order for us to reach the youth, we first have to check ourselves. We first need to unite ourselves together. That way, our kids are going to watch us. So they're going to see us working together and maneuvering. But we are our own worst enemy. Like when you were saying something about tax time, me personally, if you want to spend your taxes on whatever, go do that. You got every right because you're working hard for whatever you get. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like we need to come together more and stop like bashing each other over things that other people are doing as well, but they're not bashing each other. It's just us on social media. Oh, you this and you that, calling each other broke. And I just feel like we need to come more together as a race. You get what I'm saying?
I
And
feel
that's,
you. I
Well, you
feel
know
you
you.
what?
know,
You
mm,
know what? I agree with you. I'm gonna tell you why I agree with you. And me and my brother talk about this all the time. Me and my brother Jacob talk about this all the time. And I say because if you even look at the entertainers, the
mm,
old school cats is now online beefing with each other just as
mm,
much as the young boys.
mm.
So if we don't want the young rappers and stuff beefing
Yes.
and killing each other, then why are these dudes that's 50, 60 years old
Yes.
online beefing with each other? Like that don't even look right. You know what I'm saying? So they supposed to be the example. They, if nothing else, come online and show how y'all came together on a
Mhm.
disagreement, and show like,
Mhm.
okay, we're gonna sit down and have a round table and show the
Mhm.
young people how we can agree or disagree on something. And even if we don't agree at the end, we could agree or disagree without it getting violent, without it we're talking about each other, without disrespecting each other. But that's not what we do. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's like we always gotta one up each other and
Mhm.
look better than the other one, or whatever
Mhm.
the case may be. Just like I was telling Jacob, I said, you know what was crazy? You watched the verses last night. You might have watched the verse. I didn't see the whole thing, but I seen bits and pieces. But I seen something, and I was sitting there looking at Birdman, and I said, Birdman, you almost 60. Why are you still here bragging about how you
Mhm.
the king of
Mhm.
bling bling? Like
Yes.
what? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? Or Damon Dash was on the Breakfast Club a couple of weeks ago talking about his land and my house bigger than yours, envy. Like
Mhm.
what? What is we talking about right now? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Like let's
yeah,
talk about
yeah.
the matters at hand. Like none of that matters. Like everybody is trying to just make their self seem better. Like, oh, I do this and I do that. Okay. All the talent and all the education we got in our communities. Do y'all not know what we can create if everybody stop trying to compete with everybody and oh I do this and I got that? It does not matter because when we die, we can't take it with us.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's
That's
Right.
really,
right.
I think it's really just more so of ignorance, right? So they come from anybody. So the reason why I say that is because whenever you have that mindset, we were just talking about that Negro mindset, that's
Mhm.
what it becomes.
Mhm.
So pretty much, it's not about just coming together. It's about wanting to come together and get, want to have that mental to want to learn, want to have that compassion or whatever to come together. But otherwise, it's gonna be the same train rolling. It's gonna be the same train rolling. It's gonna go through one ear and out the other.
Right.
I'm
And I
glad. I'm
definitely
glad you.
agree on that.
I'm glad you said that. Keyword you just used: compassion.
Hmm.
Nowadays, our community can't even spell it.
Mhm.
And the reason why I'm gonna say that because we have so much compassion for everybody else, the
Yes.
Asians, the white people,
Yes.
the LGBT, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, but in
Yes.
our own neighborhoods, amongst our own family members, the
Yes.
word compassion have been thrown out the window.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so why we feel sorry for everybody else and nobody else is feeling sorry for us. Oh,
Yes.
oh, we expect them to kill one another. That's just how
Mhm.
they act. What? That ain't
Mhm.
how we. That ain't just how we. Cause I
Mhm.
know I was raised like that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Cause every black woman is not just a baby mama. And
Mhm.
every black man is not robbing and trying to sell drugs. So
Mhm.
that's that stigma that they have put on us,
Yes.
and and we have allowed them to put that stigma
Mhm.
on us instead of correcting them, stopping them in their
Mhm.
tracks. And so the whole narrative got to change, man.
Yes.
The whole narrative got to change, man. And you know, it's sad. Cause think about it. We never lived through the depression days like our parents and our grandparents and our great grandparents. You talking about
Mhm.
you got to look straight forward ahead.
Mhm.
Don't look at this person, and you could never go into the same bathroom as a white person. You know what I mean? Like it's and and we even live in society where you have sundown towns.
Yes.
2025, you still got a sundown town,
Mhm.
and if it's dark, you better not be caught out there because
Mhm.
people are warning you you might go missing. What?
Well,
In 2025?
let me say this too. You and I'm gonna keep it a bean, and I might ruffle some feathers on this one. You know, it's one of the biggest problems with the black community right now. The churches. The churches has failed the black
Yes.
community because it used to
Wow.
be a time. It used to be a time where the black churches had so much power and influence in the
Yes.
neighborhoods that you didn't want to do wrong. You didn't
Yes.
want to be seen out here and your pastor or one of the ministers or one of the
Yes.
deacons or the big mama and them seeing you out doing something crazy. But
Yes.
now the church got to the point where they accept any and everything. They
Mhm.
you and the preachers that do speak on, well, I'm not going to set this, I'm not going to set that
Mhm.
in my church, then they get
Mhm.
blasted for it. But all they doing is going by the word. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Because even when we talked about like the TD Jakes situation, some of his rooms, whether you believe it or not, and I say, well, let's just say some of those things about him is true. But then people say, "Oh, well, he human just like everybody else. He allowed to make mistakes." I say, "Everybody allowed to make mistakes." But at the same
Yes.
time, if you don't hold your ministers and your pastors to a certain regard, because on your job, if you was the president of your job, if you was the manager, general manager, or whatever, the higher ups or the people in your employ is gonna look at you different than themselves. They gonna look at you as the leader, and they gonna say, well, Miss Jones, she can't be out here stealing meat or doing whatever. Or she can't be doing certain stuff on the phone. Can see while
You
we in
break
here
up.
working. You know what I'm saying?
Shelly,
So it's
said it.
and so as a pastor, can you hear me now?
You, yeah, you broke up. Said it again.
Can you, oh, my bad. So my phone's ringing. But what I was saying was like, so as pastors, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So as pastors, then at the end of the day, you held to a certain level of regard to
Mhm.
certain mistakes that you so can't remember. So you can't be cheating on your wife. You know what I'm saying? You can't be stealing
Mhm.
money. There's certain things that you can't do. But then we don't. But at the same time, the community, we don't hold our pastors accountable, and we
Yes.
don't hold ourselves accountable. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, that's what's failing the black community because they was the head at the same time. Now they in the club partying with us. You know what I'm saying,
Yep.
or whatever, drinking with us. So
Yep.
where's the respect level in our own neighborhoods?
Facts. And I'd
You
have
know
to
what I
agree
mean?
with him there. I have to agree with him there. Yes.
You know,
And
so
just to let you know, Bella, me me and your cousin have been road dogs for a long time.
Ooh,
Marcus Johnson.
really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I,
Great.
I actually spoke at one of his anniversaries of his clothing line, Divine Souls, a couple of years ago. Yeah, so
What?
yeah, we've been tight for a
That's
long
my
time.
cousin.
Yeah. So Icon, any closing remarks before we get ready to get up out of here?
uh, I mean, basically, one thing I want to thank Miss Jones for coming on here, Bella Jones coming on here
No
tonight, giving
problem.
us some time and speaking on these issues, and we definitely want to have her back and kind of continue these conversations when it comes to what we can do to strengthen ourselves. Because the one thing about, I think sometimes in the black community, we always looking we always looking for the. I ain't gonna say we entitled because we do deserve certain things,
Mhm.
but we're too much depending on it to
Yes.
come to fruition, whether it's 40 acres and a mule or whatever, or reparations. We're looking for something that's probably never going to happen
Yep.
instead of empowering ourselves. And like I said, until we empower ourselves by stop shopping and feeling like that, oh, we for us to stay in the game, we got to have the Gucci and the Louis on so we can look better than the next man. And if you go on like TikTok, I don't know how many of y'all shopping TikTok, but TikTok got what you call affordable stuff that looks just as good as the Gucci and the Louis.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to invest in something else, to still look good. But at the end of the day, like Mr. Jones said, you can't take none of this stuff with you. So why are you so caught up in? If you think about, I'm gonna say this before I kick it over to Taylor. Somebody said the other day, I think I forgot who was the rapper. I want to say it was I forgot who it was, but he was talking about Jay-Z, and he said the richer Jay-Z get, the more he dresses like he's not rich.
Mhm.
I said, that's you know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, people that's wealthy rich, they don't look like they got money. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You won't know they had money. But people that's faking it, faking rich, or you know what I'm
Yes.
saying, they wear all this expensive stuff
Yes.
that at the end of the day, they probably really can't afford. And what is it really doing? What is it really proving? So
Yes.
that's something to be think about right there. But Taylor,
Mhm.
you got any closing remarks?
I think I'm gonna just end it by saying, in my girl Amber Blaza words, it's not what's taught, it's what's caught.
Mm,
Okay.
And yeah. Well, thanks. Just
Interesting.
let me finish.
Interesting. No,
God.
I was just gonna tell you that's interesting. You know, because it hit me. That's interesting. That's all I was saying.
Now you good. It's your turn.
Um, I just want to say accountability, alliance, activism.
okay. Well, I pretty much Jones, you got any last words for us before we get out of here? Or anything
No.
you want to plug anybody with, like any of your social medias, anything like that?
Oh yeah, they can follow me on Facebook as Bella Jones, TikTok as Bella Legba 77. And I just want to let y'all know everybody going through it, but we gonna get through it. And at the end of the day got the end.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, I appreciate you coming on. See everybody next time. God bless everybody. And I would say this: if you come across people that you see need somebody need help this week or
Yes.
whatever, whether they ask you or not, go ahead and reach out and help that person because you just never
Right.
know what somebody's going through. You know what I'm saying? So just be blessed
Amen.
and fruitful, and see everybody at the top. See y'all next time.
See you
All right.
later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Brown skin girl.